When I was a child, I'd lie awake in bed and listen for the night train. Its haunting whistle pierced the night as the steam engine would slowly pull away. As the train sped off down the track, I'd wonder, what places would it see? What towns and cities would it visit? I dreamt of journeys never ending, without destination or limit. Outside my carriage, there was nothing but the inky black of night. The hypnotic rumble of the tracks below enticed my weary mind to sleep, and at once I surrendered to dream. The door to my father's study. So many times had I returned here in my thoughts. Slowly, the handle turned, and I stepped through the door. As a child, I spent most of my days in here, but I quickly came to terms with life within these four walls. The desk where my father used to sit, just like the rest of the room, it was simple, sparse, and functional. This was my outlook on the world. How I cherished that view. I dreamt of one day driving one of those great engines. The mass of metal somehow had a beauty and elegance. The picture my father painted of his study, I'll always remember the room like this. My mother, what few memories I had of her, what I remembered, I cherished always. My father was station master, a role he was proud of. We lived on the platform and could hear every train that went through. I'd wonder where they'd been, where they would go, and imagine their great journey ahead. The sight of these trains would fill my mind with wonder. All the places the train would call. I wonder what they're like. How I longed to travel and see the world. Another of my father's timetables. I remember the train route well. It would carry the produce from the nearby factory to the port, ready to sail across the sea. The factory was the lifeblood of our town. It sustained us. No one was ready for what was to come. My mother spent all the time she could with me. I never saw how ill she'd become, just how happy she was. In the early days, this room rang out with laughter as we played together. Oh, my doll! My shoes! My mother's wedding ring. She never took it off. Why is it here? My blanket for when it's cold. The village church, one of the few places I'd ever been to as a child. Hunt the treasure! Mother would hide clues around the room like this one. Locked. I might find the keys somewhere here. Another clue. Aha! My father's treasured books. Found it. As I thought. There it is. At last, my father's desk key. The key fits the lock perfectly. Inside are my father's papers. I notice my mother's name, Catherine Lawton, Order of Service. Lost to the consumption while I was only a child. How brave she seemed to the very last. As I lay in my bed, the sounds outside comforted me. The factory in the distance and the night train on its way to the city. I never thought that one day the noise would simply stop.